Today we're gonna cover a topic on the channel that everybody's been asking me to cover, and that's why Warzone 1 got deleted. See, a little bit ago on the channel, I made a video where there was a glitch as you can now get into the Warzone 1 menu of Caldera. You can queue in, look at all your old loadouts, but the server appears to be down, and there's nothing we can do to turn it back on because Activision has decided that they're gonna pull the plug, that there's no future for Warzone 1, and that it's the end of that iconic game. But anytime you look through my comment sections or others when we talk about this topic, people want to know why Activision made this decision because Warzone 1 just feels different. Warzone 2 and 3 on, with the changes made to that IWX9 engine, it just doesn't feel the same. Like, yes, the gunplay is better in Warzone 3. Yes, the game is a lot of fun and the movement's good, and personally I enjoy making videos on Warzone 3, but I understand why some people think it just doesn't feel the same. So today's topic is why Warzone 1 was deleted, both the logistics of it, why Activision went through with it, and will we ever see a return like it in the future. So first of all, let's go all the way back to the beginning of Warzone 2. It's November of 2022, and Warzone is at its pretty much peak. The quality of life changes in Rebirth Island, Fortune's Keep, and Caldera are making the game extremely fun. The game's in a pretty good place. Rebirth Island has insanely fun modes like the April Fool's mode, as well as modes like Rebirth Supreme that sprout a prettier sunset in the background, as well as better ground loot, and overall, everybody's enjoying Rebirth Island a lot. People are grinding guns for Modern Warfare 2, trying to get their different camos, but they're already saying the game doesn't feel fun on multiplayer. And so we had a feeling that Warzone might not go as planned. And after COD Next, a lot of the streamers that went had very negative feedback. But Activision, they plugged their ears and didn't listen. So it was fitting that Rebirth Island had a sunset theme because it was like the sunset of Warzone itself. Warzone was a phenomenon during the pandemic, but it really brought Call of Duty back. And a lot of people were pretty much saying that this might be the end of Warzone. Luckily, we see that we finally got back to where we were, but I don't know if we've passed peak Rebirth in Verdansk yet. Keyword yet. But now the question that really comes about is, why do we even make this decision to toss out Rebirth Island, Fortress Keep, Caldera at the peak of Warzone 1? Were there actual legitimate reasons? Was it Activision just trying to get you to buy Modern Warfare 2? It would seem on first glance like the answer is clear. Activision's just trying to make more money. And let's be honest, this is capitalism, this is business. There is an aspect of that, and there's really no denying it. That is at the forefront of a lot of decisions like this. Really what it comes down to was this decision was that it was made before Warzone 1 was even successful. When Modern Warfare 2019 first dropped, it didn't have the new Warzone mode. That didn't come out till March of 2020. But little did anybody know that Infinity Ward had already started planning out their next release, Modern Warfare 2, to kind of revitalize the Modern Warfare series and bring back the glorious name that had Call of Duty trending in the early 2010s. So they devised a system to get into the extraction shooter genre, to come out with DMZ, a mode that could rival Tarkov, but for a little more casual players. Because when you're playing a game like Escape from Tarkov, there's a lot of mechanics to learn. It's a little bit hard to get into that looter shooter genre. So Call of Duty figured if they combine that with their simplistic Call of Duty gunsmith system, the user interface that everybody already knows and loves, and first of all, the brand name of Call of Duty, they could break into that genre. So they started building out DMZ and Warzone 2, but the issue is that they hadn't seen the success that Warzone was going to have yet. They changed pretty much everything because they wanted to focus on that DMZ aspect. Little did they know Warzone was going to break records and charts and become one of the games that everybody was playing. And over time during the pandemic, Warzone faced cheaters, a lack of an anti-cheat therefore, and a lot of glitches in stale times where not enough things were added. Ironically, right before Warzone 2 came out, Raven Software took over and was completely changing the game. Warzone was in the best place it had been, and then when Warzone 2 came out, a lot of teams working on Warzone, like Treyarch on Ranked, as well as Sledgehammer also helping out with the transition between Warzone 2 and 3. Now Warzone 3 is starting to similarly get in a better place with a lot of fixes, user interface, and just overall great updates. But the problem with Warzone is that in deleting Warzone 1, they deleted the base that everybody liked, all because they had a plan in the past to go with DMZ. So a lot of people are wondering, okay, now that DMZ is done, quote unquote, can't we just get Warzone 1 back? Why is it still deleted and in the graveyard? Can't we get it back from the Shadow Realm? And the answer is sadly no, and there's a few reasons why, but then I have my conclusion at the end as to what Activision can do in the future here. A actual real and logistical reason why Warzone 1 had to be deleted is that it didn't fit their new cross progression system. See, Warzone Mobile just got announced on March 21st, which will allow you to play Rebirth Island and Verdansk from your phone, which I was going to try to pull my phone out of my pocket, but you get the idea. It's going to be convenient. You finish gaming on your PlayStation controller, you put it away, you take out your phone, and bada bing, bada boom, you've got your best weapons and loadouts right there to play in Warzone Mobile. Additionally, there was a lot of issues with Warzone 1 with compatibility. They didn't plan to add games like Cold War and Vanguard into Warzone 1, so the coding was already quite skewed and messed up. That's why there were so many glitches in Warzone 1 and why every integration, it seemed like it was a flop because the game wasn't designed to have 3 games within it. And that's also why Warzone was such a huge file size. Not to mention console didn't have FOV and there wasn't a fix for it. It just wasn't possible on the current build of the MW 2019 engine, which means the only option was a new game. Those are enough reasons by itself for the development team and Activision to say, hey, we gotta move on. But as for why it doesn't feel as smooth, from what I've seen in the comments sections online and Reddit and here on YouTube, it seems like it's actually a decision to not make it directly like Warzone 1. Apparently because the engine is the same, they could make a lot of the animations, movement, and gunplay exactly like Warzone 1. So why they don't do that is actually, I don't know. I think it might be a mixture of wanting everybody to feel like there's something new, which maybe wasn't needed, and also give people an ability to win more gunfights if they're not on the highest NPC. But beyond that, it does really make you wonder why Warzone wouldn't want to copy that success of Fortnite, who took their same base game and model and just improved it over time. The reality is Warzone 1's probably not going to come back unless Black Ops Gulf War makes changes that closely resemble MW 2019 when it comes out in the fall. Treyarch will have an ability to take Warzone and the base game and improve it, just like Warzone 3 with Sledgehammer did. But I wonder what changes they'll make and if they'll bring it back to that feeling of Warzone 3, or if they'll kind of take the game in a new direction because everybody's taking that base Warzone 2 engine, it seems, and kind of improving and adding onto it. Now, I'm no developer and don't know the technological details of it completely, but I'm hoping that there's a way that we could revert it a little bit closer to Warzone 1. Reality is only time will truly tell here, but I do have one ultimate conclusion I want to share, and I do want to hear your thoughts down in the comment section. I sort of feel like Warzone 3 is getting to a point where it's honestly a really solid game, and maps like Vondel and Fortune's keep being in the rotation, and eventually Rebirth only solidify that. But I genuinely enjoy hopping on the game and making content for y'all over here on YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, sites like that. I just think that we had this huge period of time where Warzone was in a decline, and had we still had Warzone 1, it wouldn't have been in a decline. People would have just been playing Rebirth, whatever it is. I think that Activision got hurt here, trying to go a little bit too heavily for the money. But at the end of the day, that's what corporations do. And decisions like this do get made. I think that Warzone 3 is salvageable, and already right now it's in a good place. But that had we kept Warzone 1 in its original feel, a lot of people wouldn't have been feeling the way that they have been feeling for really the past 2 years or so. So at the end of the day, I don't think we're ever going back to Warzone 1. That's why I theorize or believe that it was deleted. And at the end of the day, all we can do is enjoy what we can now. And hopefully one day we get to a point where a lot of fans feel like Warzone is fun, or at least as fun as it was in Warzone 1. Maybe with Rebirth Island coming out in April, so it seems, we'll finally get to that place. Guys, thank you for watching and thank you for the support. And as always, stay humble, stay hungry. See you guys tomorrow for another video and tonight for a live stream. Peace out.